The second issue I want to address is to inform the public that yesterday I advised the Governor General, Her Excellency Dame Cecilia Grenada, to recall the appointment of Minister Jonathan Lacrette as the Minister for Youth and Sport, and also to recall his appointment as Senator as a result thereof, since his senatorial appointment was in effect to allow him to carry out his duties as a minister. I have since communicated that decision to Mr. Lacrette yesterday morning and thanked him for his service to the government and people of Grenada as a Minister of Government and as a Senator. He has expressed his appreciation for being given the opportunity to serve in the Cabinet of Ministers. The reason for doing so is that as Prime Minister, sitting in the Cabinet, I formed the view that I had personally lost trust and confidence in Minister Lacrette in his capacity as a minister, and in those circumstances I thought it was appropriate for me to inform him of that fact and to inform his fellow cabinet colleagues. I want to emphasize that there is no personal issues between myself and Mr. Lacrette. I am quite fond of him. There are no personal issues between him and the ministers of government. They have an excellent relationship. This is purely an issue of my prime ministerial discretion in relation to Minister Lacrette as a minister in cabinet, and in circumstances where as Prime Minister I no longer hold confidence in any particular minister, the only appropriate thing to do would be to allow the minister to be relieved of the burden of ministerial duties, and I have so done. I appreciate that the journalists who are here and other members of the media may have questions as to why I formed that view. I will indicate that I will not get into the nitty-gritty of the details because they are not appropriate given the fact that it's a trust and confidence issue, but I'm happy to entertain any questions that you may have nonetheless in light of that. For completion, I should indicate that Senator the Honorable David Andrew will act as Minister for Youth and Sport in the meantime until I make a further decision as to the substantive post of Minister for Youth and Sports or any further cabinet realignment that may arise thereof. Mr. Lacrette still remains a member of the National Democratic Congress. I look forward to continuing to work with him in that capacity as a member of the National Democratic Congress. He has also acted as the caretaker for St. George Northwest, and unless he says otherwise, I expect that he will continue to do so. So that's it. I'm happy to entertain any questions that any of the journalists may have. Press Secretary.
We have two journalists online. Mikey, I saw your hand first, so you may ask a question. Then we'll take Johnson Richardson from MTV. Go ahead, Mikey.
Good morning, Mr. Prime Minister, and to the other panelists. Prime Minister, can you highlight some of the scenarios that would have helped you to form your conclusion that you can no longer trust Honorable Lacrette or would have lost the confidence in him?
Well, I just said I wasn't going to do so for that simple matter that trust and confidence is a personal matter in my capacity as minister, and for that reason I would obviously not want to disclose what I consider personal in a public setting.
Thank you, Mike.
Go ahead. No, I think, how do I say this? Although it's personal, I believe as Prime Minister that the public, on a decision like this, at least the public is owed some degree of explanation to help us to at least to support your decision, or at least to be clear of the thought that maybe it's not a situation of victimization also, because we know that will also be part of the narrative that goes out after today.
Well, no, so I understand the curiosity, but let me make it clear. When someone serves as a minister in government, they serve because the Prime Minister has asked them to serve. And at any point in time, even for no reasons, you could be relieved of your duties to so serve. So anyone who's serving as a minister understands that. Similarly, I serve as Prime Minister at the pleasure of the majority of the members of Parliament who are members of the National Democratic Congress. So I too understand that if I'm unable to command the majority support of the majority of the members of Parliament of the National Democratic Congress, that I too they could relieve me of the burdens of being the Prime Minister. That is the political reality. And in those circumstances, if I behave in a manner where, even if I think I'm perfectly fine, it has led to a loss of confidence in the members, and they express that to me, then that's the reality. So I'm saying, in the context of me as Prime Minister and in the context of Minister Lacreta as Minister, that is essentially what has happened. And I'm saying precisely for that reason, I don't think it would be appropriate or in the best interest of even the public to get into a public nitty-gritty discourse of the interactions between myself and the minister that would have led me to form that view. And I want to emphasize here that it is in relation to his sitting as a minister in the cabinet of the government of Grenada, because that is really the only basis upon which I would have formed that view.